Hi good people, how you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. This is Sophia the Life Coach, your number one online coaching show. Here we do life together as we get empowered through learning. Thanks for always turning to watch my videos. I really appreciate you. I thank you guys. To all my new subscribers who have joined us recently, I welcome you. Feel at home and keep it locked here for more learning. Thanks for joining this great family, and please remember to press the notification bell so that anytime I will upload a new video, you will get notified. To my premier gang, I appreciate you so much. I thank you and I wish you all the best in everything that you do. Please remember to give this video a like, share out widely to as many people as possible. Give me your thoughts, your opinion on the comment section about the topic we are discussing today. And we're talking about how to master your personal finance rules. You know, every time I think about finances, or every time my mind remembers of money and finance freedom, I think of you guys and I feel, why not come up with something that will bring some good information and some good learning tips to all of us to learn. Because I know we all look forward to success, but how to get to that success is really what matters. Yeah, so my name is Sophia Murungi. I am a passionate life coach and a counseling psychologist. Please follow me on Instagram at Sophia_Murungi, or send me a WhatsApp message on 0718-970-325 in case you have a topic suggestion or a story that you can share to encourage or educate people, or you have some personal challenges you're going through and you need some emotional support. I will get back to you and I will really appreciate you a lot. Let's get to the video as we get learning. Let me start by saying that we all need to have some essential rules of personal finances. We need to know them and we need to follow them. Managing, budgeting, and saving money is certainly not an easy task. We need to discover the essential rules of personal finance that will make our lives easier and our money last longer. Here are some few essential money planning tips that you can gain them and follow them, and they will do you good in terms of your finances. Point number 1, you need to know, don't spend more money than you make, or don't spend more money than you earn. In other words, people say live within your means. You know, when your bank balance is looking healthy after a payday, it's easy to overspend and not to be careful anyway because you have money. But there are some several issues that play the results in people relying on borrowing money, paying back, and staying in debt for a while, because when you get used to having money, you spend, and you have some other things to do. You also have to borrow some money for you to accomplish doing those things. When you are used to getting debt, that means you are living beyond your means. And you know, some reason that may cause you this is living with pressure, or just living a life that is not yours, living that you want to impress people, or falling into pressure of maybe social media, looking into your friends, how they are doing, what they have, and you want to have something that you need to have but you don't have maybe money to have it. Another reason that may cause you to live beyond your means is following your parents' footsteps. We learn a lot from our parents, including picking up on how they spend their income. So if our parents are carefree spenders, we might likely follow into that notion and it might fail our finances. The other thing that may cause us to be in trouble of finances and live in debt is lack of a budget. The importance of a budget can be widely underestimated, but having a plan on how you should distribute your income and earnings is very vital. You need to budget your money and know where your money is going, other than wondering where your money goes. We all need to have control of our spending and avoid cash flow problems down the line, because budget will always take care of that. Another one is failing to prepare or failure to plan. We all know that failing to plan is like planning to fail, because living for today needs your preparation in advance. Like, you need to set everything that you need to do. You need to have a good plan of what you want and what you want to do and how you will do it, especially if it's costly. Preparation is key to ensuring you don't go overboard and you don't run out of money, and it will help you ensure you have covered for what money you have and you have covered for what tomorrow may bring. The issue of spending money without planning will give you stress in future, because you will always spend a lot of money today and you think you have money. I don't know if you have ever found yourself in this situation, like you have money, you have not budgeted, and you spend it. You just, after the money is finished, is when you realize, or when you get something really important that you are supposed to do and you don't have money by that time. That means you will have to go to look for some loan somewhere for you to handle that thing, because if you find that you are funding your lifestyle by living in debt, it can easily spiral out of control living. That shows you like you're living beyond your means and you are stressing yourself up. Point number 2 is that you need to get out of debt spiral and stay out of debt. Everyone is aware that debts can really be addictive to someone, and living a debt-free life is the best and happy moments for everyone in life. When you don't want to worry, how will I pay back this person, or what do I do, or where do I get money, this one will always be giving you peace of mind and will always be giving you happiness in your life. Maybe you might have found yourself in debts and you are really struggling to pay them. The thing you need to do is to involve making your payments to the people you owe money as your personal responsibility. And if you really want to pay back that loan, there are 2 different methods that you can plan for paying and clearing your debts. Number 1 method is the snowball method. This involves making the minimum payment on all your debts, then paying off the smallest debt first, one at a time. This method encourages you and motivates you and let you be sure that you are able to conquer and you will be in a position to clear your repayments. You also need to talk to people that you owe and let them know you are planning on how to sort them out, and let them give you some little more time to wait for you to clear their loan. Another method is the avalanche method. This involves making the minimum payments to all your debts, but the paying off more on the debt with the highest interest rate. There are people who take loans from Shylock, there are people who take loans from banks, there are people who take loans from friends, there are people who take loans from company, maybe salary advance, and there are those people who take loans from their circle. And maybe some things happened to you, you got into a position where you now don't have any money with you, and you have to cater for those debts anyway, because now debt is supposed to be paid back. Doesn't mean you are stable or not stable. You just have to pay back people's money because you owe them and they helped you when you are in a need. You ought to know that once you are out of the debt circle, it's a lot easier to get back into the position again After all, experiencing the financial freedom of a life without debt is totally worth making more than just the minimum payment on all your debts. Point number 3, you need to note that creating an emergency fund account is a must. In instances of loss of a job or unexpected cost or an emergency sickness or something that may come up and you really need some cash, that is when you realize the importance of an emergency fund account if you have it. In case you experience those unexpected instances, this is where an emergency funds account comes into play to prevent any problems when you have finances or unimpacted or unexpected instances. You should always have to save little money every month when you receive your salary. This is your money still. This will cater for any larger cost or any changes that may happen to your income in future. For example, maybe in the times of COVID, many people lost their job. There are those people who had never saved for emergency. So many people went back to up country, and it's so sad that many have not yet recovered today. It's always good to save for some money. Yeah, it's called emergency account, but doesn't mean an emergency will come to you. But it's a good way for preparing yourself, and it's a good way of planning yourself in case that thing come. Remember, we said failing to plan is another way of planning to fail. So if you are in a position right now and you get money, you're earning your pay, you ought to have a saving account of any emergency that may arise. Sometimes you just on your normal daily things and something comes up, and maybe it's almost the corner of the month, you don't have money, you're operating on a fixed budget as you wait for the other income to come in, and then you're there wondering how you go about this or what you should do. And because we are learning ourselves to stay away from debts, when you have an emergency saving account, if something comes up, you'll just get there, withdraw some cash and handle that thing. This shows you if you don't have an emergency account, you'll just go for a loan for you to sort out that thing, because there are some things that come, they really need our attention, and we are the only people who can solve this problem. So you will only have to do anything humanly possible for you at that time so that you can save that situation. Maybe it's a sickness, maybe your parents have gotten sick and you are children, you need to collect some money to maybe pay for the medical bill. Or maybe it's the case of a house that collapsed the other day. There are people who are living there. That was an emergency thing because they had to be evacuated from that building right away. So imagine they had to go to live in another different building. And in a new house, when you go to rent a new building, you need to have some money for deposit, you need to have money for rent, and of course some money for movement here and there. Just imagine now you don't have any cash that you have set aside for an emergency. You see, you will have to go people to borrow money so that you can handle that important thing that you need to do at that time. So it's always good to be careful for yourself. It's always good to be concerned for yourself, and it's always good to save for your future, because future has a lot in store for us, and we never know what will come until we get there. Yes, many people say, I will cross that bridge when I get there, but rest assured, if you don't have a way or a set plan on how you can handle some things, if they may come up, you will always be in last minute rush all the time in your life, and it's not a good thing anyway, because these are the things that bring people into stress and depression, because you find yourself in a thing you don't know what to do, you start getting stressed up, and stress cannot help any situation, it can only worsen situations in life. Point number 4, you need to get your budget in order. Creating a spending plan for your money ensures that you will always be able to afford the essentials you need and the things that are important to you. A budget will help to prevent the accumulation of debts. It will help you to find areas that you can save money and give you control. Here are some few things to note when you want to improve your budget. Point number 1, you need to take note of your income and all your outgoings. This can include maybe your rent, utilities, food, childcare, maybe for those who go for gym or those who travel for the expenses. And the number 2, you need to calculate the difference and see exactly how much you have remaining to spend. Number 3, you need to determine how much of this money you want to set aside for luxury and dining out and holidays and maybe clothes, especially we are in the festive season. Many people will go to buy Christmas outfits, will go to buy maybe Christmas decor to decorate their homes, will be going to travel here and there. They will be providing for maybe their family some Christmas goodies, and then if you don't have some money set aside for this, you might strain your finances. So you need to have a budget set aside for this. Also, you need to make it an habit to review your budget 2 weeks to make any changes or improvements where necessary. So when you have a set budget and you are working with it, things are always easy for you to get here and there or even to buy anything. I love those people who say, I have saved for this thing for a while and now I'm happy to acquire it, or I have been paying pole and now I'm happy to have it, or I have been setting money aside and I am ready for this thing right now. These things can really help you to put your finances in order, and it's a great way to live a financial freedom life, because you don't have to live stressed and you're stressed up to work to get this money, then you still get stressed up to spend this money. It's not fair for yourself and it's not good for your peace of mind. So budgeting will really help you in doing this. Point number 5, you can try to follow the 70-20 budgeting rule. This is a new one. I have not talked about it in this channel, but I ever thought about how to save for beginners with 50-30-20 budget rule. You can refer to that video and you can learn from it. And with this rule of 70-20-10, you will need to budget your money with this, whereby for 70% going to all monthly expenses. This includes all bills, food and travel expenses. If you are working from home, you budget your 70% with the things that are affecting your monthly expenses. If you work to go to office, you need to include your fare, transport there, where 20% then goes to savings. Unless you have a pressing debt to repay, now you can put this one on hold and then cater for this one first. Then paying the debt first, you can at least save 10%, because you don't have to let any month to bypass without you saving anything. Even if a lot is happening, you should never forget to save, because this is your future you're securing, and all these things are happening today. They will not be there tomorrow, or they will not be there in future to help you handle that time. So you ought to always remember to save some little money, because all the time future will always come with new things and they will always need some expenditure. And then 10% will go to tackling debt repayment. You may start by reducing with the highest loans. You set them as priority, or the way I said, you talk to the people you are owing money and you agree with them the timeline they should give you for you to clear that loan, then you can just plan yourself and maybe start with the smallest as you go by, or start with the highest, or balance with the people that you owe and agree, I will be giving you this amount for this period, and you will be okay. But of course, this rule is open to adjustment. So if you are looking to pay off more debts or save more money, then you will need to change the categories accordingly. So if it rounds up to 100% and maybe you live in your own house, you don't have to pay for rent, and maybe you don't have debt, and maybe you work from home, you don't travel, maybe you're just doing your business around, that means you will have a lot for you to save. So this is important to remember when it comes to budgeting. The key is to find a solution which works for you and which helps you to achieve your financial well-being. It's not a must you do like the other person. It's not a must you follow to the latter what I am teaching here. All the teachings are not 100% a must. They are just guidelines on how you can follow through and how you can at least have an idea in mind of what you need to do. Point number 6 is that you need to always do your research before making a purchase. If you are looking to make any purchase of any kind, remember to browse the internet. At least nowadays, internet is there. You can see different vendors, and sometimes you might find something cheaper elsewhere and you have already bought it with a higher price. That's why it's always good to do some window shopping before you buy anything. This one really helps. I know everyone has ever found themselves in this scenario, like you buy something here and you go to a different shop and you find like the price is way lower, and maybe you had bought it at a higher amount and the quality is the same, the quantity is the same, the make is the same, and of course you feel bad. And also sometimes we have ever found we bought something at a lower price and we go to other shops and we find they are selling at a higher price and we are like, oh, I'm lucky. So it's always good to check on different vendors before you buy something, especially things like when you want to buy land, when you want to buy an apartment, when you want to buy maybe a motor vehicle, when you want to start a business, like anything that will involve a lot of money for you that you may lose and it will bring you down financially big time. It's always good to be more concerned and be really careful. Even if you are not in a good position to do so, you can reach out to those people who are qualified in that field and they will really help you to do it, and will be on the safer side to save your finances and to get the quality product you want. Point number 7 is that you need to separate your emotions from your finances. Do you find that you are spending money to increase your happiness when you feel like you need a pick-me-up moment when you are not alone? Of course, treating yourself to a little treat once in a while isn't such a terrible thing. But when you are spending money compulsively to fill a space, then to fill a space in your heart, maybe loneliness or maybe emotional stress, and maybe you feel like now if I just go and take beer I will forget all these problems, or if I just go for a holiday I will just relax, and maybe you had not planned for those money you are spending, then it will mess up your finances. This one lead to some serious financial problem. It wasn't actually because when you consume the money that is supposed to do something else, or you just get a loan to do some things that are not mandatory or not priority, then it messes you big time. The first step to tackling these issues is to stop the signs by becoming self-aware of your spending habits when you are most likely to make unnecessary purchase, or when how you are feeling, or when you want to do something, just maybe to fill in the space, or to avoid stress, or to make someone realize that you can say, you have a say. There are those people who find maybe someone, your friend, has a car and you're borrowing them to get some errands here and there, and they deny you their car, and you're like, you're denying me a car, and a car I can just buy it. Then you go for loans and get a car. Yes, you will be struggling to do this, but you see, now you have put your finances into a stake just because you want to prove a point to some people, or you want to fit in. So it's always good to be cautious, and it's always good to be careful when you're dealing with finances and emotions. Point number 8, you need to maintain or work on fixing your credit score. Yeah, we're talking about avoiding loan, avoiding debts, but many people have really made it in life with loans from some vendors. It's always good to be keen with credit and loans. If you maintain, or when you fix your credit score, anytime you need some finances, you will always get money from vendors, because you are a good person. You pay back loans in set times, in set deadlines. There is someone who wants to build a rental house. They go to bank, they say, they sign those papers, and they get a good amount of loan. They build a rental house, and that becomes a lifetime investment. There are those people also go to get loans for businesses, and the business peaks, and they are doing good with it. So it's always good to check what you are doing with the money you are getting. So it's not 100% discouragement to get a loan. It's a matter of what you do with that loan. Point number 9, the last one, is stick to a meal plan to maximize on savings. One of the best ways to prevent unnecessary spending is to cut back on food expenses. Something which sounds like a basic, but sometimes people buy meals without plan, and you find you have bought a lot that you don't have to spend anyway. I like a lady by the name Alice Ritho. She's a YouTuber, and in another video I saw her doing a meal plan, and she was explaining too well, like she needs to do a meal plan for every month, so that she knows what is remaining for last month and what she needs for this month, so that she will not buy unnecessary things that will not be required for that month. For more information on this, guys, you can go and check our channel out by the name Alice Ritho, is in the screen right now. Go and support her, watch her videos. She does a lot of homemaking videos, and you will get to learn a lot from her. So as I conclude this video, I want to encourage you to learn on how to plan yourself, to work on your finances, and you will never regret. A meal plan can be a handy tool that allows you to know exactly what ingredients you will need for the week or for the month to avoid pointless purchase. This one will save you, and it will save your finances. Thanks, guys. Keep on working for your finances, and your future will be greater. Remember, it's your personal discipline and your efforts that will help you to get to that successful life that you admire, and that successful life that you aspire to get. Put your finances in order, and things will work out for you for the better. You'll never regret, and I am leaving you with some quote on this screen as you learn about finances and how to budget yourself. I will see you in the next video, guys, and bye. I appreciate you so much.